Good evening and welcome into SportsTownChicago's.com broadcast. Friday Night Lights here, live from Serpico Field in Melrose Park. We're going to play a little semi-pro football this evening. The Chicago Vipers will take on the Madison Wolves. Vipers coming in 2-1. The Wolves at 1-2. They flipped the win-loss ratio between each other. They're going to get it on this evening under the lights here. Looking for a fantastic contest. Starting in the quarterbacking position, I believe, for the Vipers this evening is the owner also of
It,
the Vipers.
no, it looks like it's going to be Rivera again.
Is it will be Noel?
Yeah, it will be Noel. Jay is the backup, however, so if anything goes wrong, he's out there, and we saw he's got a pretty good arm, so it's not like you're losing a whole lot with the arm if Jay does have to come in.
On the broadcast this evening is myself, Marco Godfrey, alongside Chris Labasco. So you should expect a fantastic ball game right here from Serpico Field. These teams are ready to go. We're just waiting for a couple of things to get transpired with on the sideline for the Vipers. The defense will come out. We'll start out on the 30-yard line. The Madison Wolves will take first crack at this. They'll go on the offense. The Vipers will bring out their defense, it looks like.
Yeah.
And we're just about underway. 45-minute halves here. These are the rules on there. 3 minutes. It'll go running time, NFL rules, and we go into a 2-minute warning as well in semi-pro football here. This is 9-on-9 football out here on Serpico Field. And we are just about underway. First snap about to take place as the line gets set. Wolves come out with two on the formation, odd side right, as they are about to take in. Labasco, should we expect here from the Wolves and Vipers this evening?
You should expect a pretty good game. I mean the Vipers, they had a tough first game. They play the defending two-time champions to start off the year. They lost that one. Now they've won two in a row. Obviously not the competition that they played in that first game, but that was a team they were right with.
And we're underway. A snap out there, a pass right out there, 10 yards and better, 15, 16. We got a 16-yard pickup on the first down for the Madison Wolves. This is a pass from the quarterback. Let me go ahead and grab a couple of numbers, but the reception made by Zach Zradika, a running back, cornerback, 5'10", 175-pounder. He makes it right outside the flats. He just gets wide open. Defense for the Wolves
Yeah.
looks like that. Means the Vipers look like they were caught off guard.
A little bit off guard. They almost got the ball away from him there when they went for the tackle. That ball was a little bit loose. If somebody could have punched it out. I mean, they went with the empty set there to start off. It looks like they're going to have a couple guys in the backfield for this next one.
Yeah, so off first down, 16 yards on the pickup to start the ball game off, and they go into a bunch formation and a handoff here in the backfield. This is that same cornerback who just made the reception. He'll gather up about another 4 yards on the pickup off first down.
Well, you can tell that he's a guy who must be really talented. If he's listed as a running back and a corner, and he's probably their main ball carrier, so obviously he's going to be a guy to watch.
Yeah, he's got the first two plays of the ball game that have been designed for him. So the Vipers are probably going to want to get their nickel action and the rest of their formation really kind of keyed in on him. This Zach Zradika is the guy of record that we really kind of should be noting here for the Madison Wolves here for a greater portion of the game. Coming under center this time, they're going to go in the I formation. The Wolves will be quarterback Tucker Pitts. He'll take the snap, the 6'1", 165 quarterback. He goes off and he'll keep the ball himself on a keeper, and he's way down the field. Very nice pickup for roughly about 15 yards on the scamper, and he's going to be out of bounds. It looks like just at the 31-yard line into Viper territory. And just like that, the Madison Wolves are in business starting here from the 30. Another pickup first down. In 3 plays, they've picked up 2 first downs, Chris.
And that was one of the things with the Chicago Chaos was that they had a very good running quarterback, and that gave the Vipers trouble. And so far, it looks like we've got a quarterback that can run in Madison, so something to take note of here if you're a fan of the Vipers.
In motion here coming across, and we got an end around sweep here, but this is going to be picked up really quickly in the backfield very nicely. That's number 44 on the tackle, Greg Silsby, the D tackle, 5'10", 210-pound monster. He comes and reads that very well. They come out on an end around and just try to hand it off to the receiver. That was 13, Tony Sweet, coming across the 5'11", 200-pound wide receiver, and they pick him up in the backfield. Very nice tackle for loss. They lose roughly about 4 yards on that, so we're going to be looking at second down and about 14.
sometimes your blockers will lose the alignment in an end around because you're kind of faking them with what you're doing at the line and just great awareness.
Empty backfield. He's going to go from the shotgun. This is Tucker Pitts, the quarterback, the 6'1", 175-pound guy. Oh, he looks like he almost gets him off, and they will call that. That's going to be offsides on the Vipers. Number 14 looks like he jumped into the neutral zone for the Vipers. That was Miguel Tanous, the defensive end.
They're going to call the false start though
Oh,
on the
do
wide.
they call the false
Yeah,
starts?
they called the false start on Tom Sweet, the receiver. I mean, it was the timing because he. It's funny because it was a hard count, and Sweet went, and so did the defensive end. Both guys bit, and I guess that you're going to call the false start there before you call the offsides. I guess.
Yeah, a lot of times you can fool your own team when you're running a design play that's got a cadence call that can throw the other team off. So we'll start back from now. Still first down now with an additional 5 yards back. So we'll start first down and second down and 19, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield for another loss. And now the Vipers are starting to get their defense rumbling all the way back to the 45-yard line. This is number 44 again in the backfield. That's Greg Silsby, the D tackle. He seems to be all over the field right now.
Yeah.
He with a collection of Chicago Viper defenders as well. Miguel Tanous, the defensive tackle in the defensive end, he was also on the backfield.
Uh,
And Sean Dawson, the linebacker, the 5'9", 205-pound monster, he was in the backfield as well.
yeah, yeah. Dawson was the one who finished it off, wrapping him up with Silsby. But I mean, like you said, in the middle of that line, he's just doing work right now, getting through and just causing disruptions. That was intended to be a pass play. There was no time to even pass because by the time he was into his drop back, he was already had a man in his face.
So now all the way back to the 44-yard line, still in Viper territory, but they've been on the moving of back since they got all the way down to the 31. And this pass is going downfield. He's got a receiver in a lot of bunching, and this is going to be just disrupted, almost intercepted by number 7. He had a real good beat on there. That was Shane Voigt, the free safety, his little 6'2", 6'1", 190-pound guy in the backfield in the secondary, and he's going to disrupt that pass, and that's going to go on to fourth down, and it looks like they're going to switch it over.
Yeah, was that the fourth down play?
That was the third down play.
That was the third down play. So I'm a little surprised. I guess that they can just. I thought they would just run another play. Maybe the down marker was off is my bet because they were off there for a little bit with the down marker. So that was probably the fourth down play.
Okay, we will call that a fourth down play. It's going to be an incompletion nonetheless, broken up on the play there by Shane Voigt, once again the free safety. And the Vipers will take off, coming out on offense for the first time. Under center tonight for the Vipers is Noel Rivera, the quarterback. He's 5'11", 200 pounds, and his cast of offensive players start in a single single back set from the left side of him, and there's a inside handoff to that running back that's in the backfield. He breaks a couple of tackles. He's got a nice little lane, and then he's upended by a myriad of tacklers for for the Wolves. That's number 11 on the move. That's Josh Hampton, the running back. 6 feet, 175 pounds. Very nice inside handoff. Very nice, well-designed play to call right off the bat by Noel Rivera.
Hampton has a lot of speed. There's not many guys in this league that are going to be able to catch him when he gets into open field. I was hoping he was going to cut that one either outside or inside after he got through the line because there was nobody because they only had the single back safety back. If he goes to either side, he has all but daylight to run, and he probably gets into the end zone if he could have got there.
Yeah, it looks like the Wolves will set up in some form of a 3-5-1 with two individual linebackers right behind the defensive line and a one safety setting up in the middle of that, faking a couple of attempts up there. And there's another inside handoff, a couple of moves in there, and it's going to look like a first down is going to be made there by that same running back. That's Josh Hampton, the running back. A couple of very nice little slippings of the defenders, and he's into the 32, 33. Yeah, we're going to call it the 32-yard line and a first down for the Vipers. Very nice to start off the ball game. Two nice little runs for them.
And you got Jay Fortuna, the backup quarterback. He's also working as offensive coordinator, giving Rivera the plays that he wants him to run. And this is setting up something nice here for Rivera to either play action, but also Rivera has quite the wheels, so he can run with the ball as well. Look out for that.
It's also to be duly noted that the Wolves, excuse me, the Vipers, check that, have a huge offensive line. In this play, you're going to have an end around coming. That's number 40 on the move. He sidesteps one defender, breaks two tackles, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds just at the 35-yard line. That is number 40, Eli Williams, a running back slash wide receiver. Also plays two ways, so he goes on as a linebacker on the defensive side of the ball. But another running play, well designed as well. And as I said, that front line there for the offensive line 75, 76, 95. Those are some big boys. That will be Andy Jones, Jake Nicoline, and 95. Check that. That's James Fontaine, tackle D tackle. Really big boys. Chris Labasco out there leading the brigade for those guys to make holes for the Chicago Viper running attack.
Yeah, Marcos, and I mean they're doing their job right now. They're holding their blocks, allowing their runners to get upfield and into the second level. And with the guys that you have, if you get them into the second level, anything can happen.
Okay, so the down marker says we're at first down. I thought this was second down, but it is first. We got a fake end around, and he's going to go to the pass. Rivera has a man wide open. It's the big man. Oh my gosh, he drops it at the 31-yard line in the Wolves territory. He was wide open. That's Anthony Stortorino. He was wide open on a breakaway. It looked like it was a straight go route. Rivera had him dead to rights, and he just absolutely dropped the ball.
And that was perfect. We were talking about how that was setting up the play action, all this running the Vipers were doing, and that's what you wanted, that single coverage on the outside, and Storino just couldn't hold on to the ball. It was a little bit of an underthrown ball, but Storino didn't slow up enough to get to the for the ball to come to him. He was a little bit in front of the ball, so he had to kind of reach and go low for it instead of catching it over his shoulder.
Yeah, and Storino is known as TJ, but until he makes a catch, he's still just Anthony to us. All right, from second down, they'll start the mark. Still there from the 35-yard line. Rivera goes up, takes a snap. He had a single back formation. He'll take it. Now he's scrambling. He's got room to run, but he says he passes off. Storino, another chance. This one is off the fingertips of Storino, who has another chance again down at the 31, 32-yard line. Obviously, that is not a place on the field for them to throw it. We're going to try to find another place for them to throw for TJ Storino because he's not making plays at the moment. Two great opportunities just gone wayside right there, Chris Labasco.
One great job by Rivera too to create some extra time. He didn't really have anyone open on his first look around, so he escapes the pocket and he sees Storino open down that sideline. Now I couldn't tell, that ball might have been out of bounds anyways. It was tough to tell from our angle.
From my angle, I actually think he had a chance to make that inbounds. Yeah.
It was very close, but even still, make the catch anyway.
You got to make that catch
Right.
one way or the other. So you got to make you got to instill confidence in your quarterback that hey, I'm going to make the play for you regardless of where you throw it.
Right.
So we'll go to third down here, and the Vipers. Okay, Rivera on the move now. He's under duress. He gets out to the side, and he's going to be hit as he delivers the ball. It's going to be incomplete, that pass, and that's going to be fourth down, or was that fourth down? There's a lot of there's a lot of confusion with the down marker. I believe that was fourth down, and we're going to switch this ball back over, going back down, starting on the 20-yard line of the Madison Wolves, and we'll restart their offensive set there. Still nothing, nothing. We have now gotten into about 33, 34, so we've gotten roughly about 16 minutes and some change. Excuse me, double check that. 12 minutes into, almost full 12 minutes into this first half. 45-minute halves in semi-pro football here, running time, and no team has scored. A couple of nice opportunities, a couple of first downs for both teams, but they're still kind of jockeying to try to find position in this game to really open up themselves. The Wolves back on the attack, on the defensive attack now. We'll have to play it and stop the Wolves as they are trying to get into their offensive set, I formation, and a run up the middle. He breaks one tackle, and then he's picked up by a myriad of defenders here in the secondary. That tackle made by number 7, the two-way player Shane Voigt. Shane Voigt was that guy who made a pretty nice little play earlier in the game for the Wolves on the offensive end. Now he's playing free safety. He steps up and makes a tackle on their running back, Zach Zradika. That 5'10", 175-pound guy that you kind of need to key in on because he's getting a lot of the plays.
And Voigt's a guy to watch on this defense. He made some plays against Chicago Chaos in that first game that were important. Unfortunately, his team couldn't win that one, but he's still very vital to their defense, especially as that last line guy. You've got to pay
Oh.
attention to him.
I formation again. This time it's going to be a flag immediately thrown. We're going to have a false start. That's number 64 for the Madison Wolves. That's Reed Engelke, the offensive lineman, just 6 feet, 280 pounds. That 280 pounds, once it gets off the ground, probably a little bit difficult to put it back down in the
Yeah,
pits there. So he gets ahead of himself and too much steam, and he's going to get called for the false start.
I mean, he barely even got set too. Was the funny thing. I mean, it looked like maybe they were going to try to go real early on that snap.
Yeah, 3 yards on the first run, so they'll push it back 5. So we'll be back at 2nd and 8. And the running back, it looks like Shredinka gets the handoff. He had a little bit of a opening, and he starts to get to that spot. He slips as he gets there. He's back to the 32-yard line, picks up a gain of 1 on that. So we're looking like we're going to third, fourth down, and it looks like third still on the down marker. Third down and 7, it looks like roughly.
Yeah, that should be third down because we had the false start there in between. So third down sounds right.
If we started at the 30, I think we may be at third down and 9 because we've had a lot of exchanges there. I'm not exactly sure where they started back. But they started on the 20, the 25. Did they start on the
I
30?
forget where they. Let's see. Well, according to they start on the 35. It looks like according to the down marker, the or 34.
The 34. Okay, so we're back to the 32. So we're behind. So you're going to look at it roughly about a third down and 13, give or take.
Right.
All right, because it has been a couple moves. Quarterback on the move there. That's number 8 for the Wolves. He sidesteps 2 defenders. Oh, and that is a crush move right there. He's picked up immediately by the big boy. Double zero here for the Chicago Viper. That's Drew Jones, the linebacker. He's a big boy, 6'1", 225 pounds. An open field tackle. He sees the quarterback comes out in the flats, and that's Tucker Pitts, who looks like he had a lot of room if Drew Jones does not upend him, and he just crushes him at the point of attack right there. Very nice job by there, and the Vipers will take it back down and start their offense from the 35-yard line back here in Viper territory.
Well, there's no Chris Conti and Drew Jones because he did not stop his feet. He drove through his man, which is what you want to do on an open field tackle like that. You don't want to stop it.
Very nice with the Chris Conti reference because you know how much I love me some Bears. Chris
Oh, of
Conti.
course.
Oh my goodness. We'll see what the Bears, as far as their defense, are going to do this year under Mel Tucker.
It'll be very interesting with the guys that they've brought in. I liked how they drafted defensively, adding a lot of talent onto the defensive line, which I mean exposed Chris Conti more than he needed to be.
Okay, back into live action. Noel Rivera under. He'll take it from the shotgun. If you look at the center for the Wolves, it's just a monster. Jeez Louise, that whole front line is big. But he'll take a handoff. That's number 40 for the Vipers. Eli Williams, the running back, and he looks like he's going to gain just about 4, maybe 5 yards on the pickup on first down.
Yeah,
And
close to that. Unfortunately, Andy Jones, after the snap there, he didn't find anybody to block. I mean, he kind of was off on his blocking there, so that hole wasn't as big as it could have been. I mean, yeah, like you said, big guy, but the line there fooled him a little bit for Madison. So that gain only minimal for what it could have been.
okay, if he gets his technique in line with the size, this game could get ugly pretty quickly. Just the front line for these guys 75, 76, 95, and 77 across Andy Jones, Jake Nicolene, David Rose, and the big boy James Fontaine. These guys are just monsters against the rush attack of Madison. And back to, oh my gosh, how does he get through there? It's number 54 for Madison, the Wolves. Brian Adams, the defensive lineman. He's 6'2", 210 pounds, and pretty quick, it looks like. He
Yeah,
sidesteps one of the offensive linemen, gets back to the quarterback. He sacks him for a loss, and they're going to push that all the way back to the 30-yard line where they were starting from what looked like the 36. So we're going to look like a 6-yard loss on there. We're going to take it to third down.
yeah. After all that praise that we just gave the offensive line
And there we go.
the previous drive, and now they're being exposed a little bit.
Story of my life, giving somebody credit before they actually deserve it. Holy smokes. And on the broadcast here on SportsTownChicago.com, live from Serpico Field, this is semi-pro football, the Chicago Vipers and the Madison Wolves here. Marco Godfrey alongside Chris Labasco. Noel Rivera takes the snap out of the shotgun. He sidesteps a couple of people. He's got room to run, and he is going to take off. He's got a lot of room to run. He's into the oh my gosh, there he goes. He's into Wolves territory as he crosses midfield, and he's going to be out of bounds at the 44-yard line of the uh, Madison Wolves. And that scamper, he picks up just about 20 yards on that scamper.
Just about. And a great block by Josh Hampton on a cornerback, on one of the defensive backs for Madison. I mean, Hampton, the running back for this team, but showing he can block as well because Rivera pointed, I'm running, block this guy for me, and he lit up the block, which allowed him to escape and get the first down and more.
Very nice job here. So now the Vipers on the attack now in Wolves territory. Rivera with a single back to his right side. He lifts his leg up. He'll take the snap. He gets it, receives, and that's the handoff. That's number 11. That's the speedster. Eric, excuse me, double check that. That's the speedster, Josh Hampton, and he is going to be off his feet. And that ball is loose. It's a fumble, and it's going to be recovered by the Wolves, and they're going to take it over right there on the 34-yard line. A very nice run, finish there and a tackle, and the Wolves will take over, and the Vipers will end their drive with a turnover in the Wolves territory, and they will start from the 35-yard line.
I wish we could have had a review for that one. Obviously, this isn't the NFL, but I thought maybe Hampton's leg was down when that ball came out. It was a little bit tough to tell if it was or not, but unfortunately, if the drive stalls here, they were really starting to get going offensively with the run.
Turnovers are the ultimate drive killers, of course.
Of course.
Hey, with a empty backfield, Shradika in the flat. He comes out now. He's out wide open out there, but he overthrows a receiver out there. He had him out there, like I said, in the flats. That's Tom Sweet, the 5'11", 200-pound receiver who was right up and on the right flank, and Pitts just overthrows him, and that's going to be an incomplete pass. So we'll go to second down on their first down attempt. They went to an empty backfield again. Tradika, who comes out and sometimes gets into the slot, he
Yeah.
probably is just a handful for some of the defenders because they look like they were not in the right defense. And I just don't think that Pitts saw him out here on this side of the field to get it out to him. But his pass was incomplete. They'll go on second down now.
I mean, not only that, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw back there either. I mean, as soon as he dropped back, he had pressure on his back, and he saw it coming, so he had to escape to that side. So
Bunch
he's
T, and
limited.
that ball is just snapped, and it's loose on the ground. Oh my gosh, and it's going to be a turnover, and the Vipers will take over. He did not see the snap coming. I believe that the count probably got mixed up, the information between he and the center, and then the ball just squirts out as he tries to hand it off to number 13, who had just been overthrown, Tom Sweet, the play before, and it's going to be turnover for the Vipers, and they'll take it over on the 37-yard line in Wolves territory.
And it's funny how that always seems to work out, where when there's one turnover by one team, always seems like that's when the other team's going to turn it over.
It seems like it's only fair. So now we'll see if the Vipers can capitalize on the turnover in Wolves territory as Rivera comes out into an empty backfield with the monster crew in front of him, ready to lead the blocking brigade here. And he lifts his leg one time. He'll take the snap and he shoots out the side. He gets one defender who comes into the gap. He's going to be sacked in the backfield. That's that collaboration in the backfield of number 54, Brian Adams, and Dalton Mitchell, the defensive lineman. And there's a sack in the backfield all the way back to the 43-yard line. He'll have a 8-yard loss, and the Viper uh, looking like they're going in the wrong direction again right now. So here comes Rivera under center, and he'll go to an empty back, excuse me, from the shotgun, empty backfield. He'll take the snap just off the heels of the turf, and here comes that. Oh, and it looks like a little snub play as they get all the defenders coming on a jailbreak, and it's a completion to number 17, Kyle Ritter. Our first chance to call his number out. He's a wide receiver slash fullback, 6 foot, 220 pounder, who makes the reception as all of the defenders are allowed to come in on a jailbreak, and they
Yeah.
find him just wide open in the flats, and he runs in and picks up all that yardage back up to the 33-yard line.
Ritter not the fleetest of foot, but he picks up the yardage. He did the smart thing, just running upfield to get as many yards as possible, and just give his team a little bit more breathing room here.
Absolutely. So now we're on third down, back to the original line of scrimmage. Rivera surveys the field, empty backfield. He'll go from shotgun again. Um, lifts up his leg. Now we got a man in motion sweeping around. That's number 40, Eli Williams. And that is going to be a pass out to him on the flats out there. And it looks like we're going to get a face mask
Yeah, I think
on the
you're right.
tackle right there. One of the Wolf defenders got his hands caught up into the mask of Eli Williams, trying to bring him down because that kid is a handful. As we had mentioned, he's a wide receiver running back who also doubles on the defensive end as a linebacker, 5'9", 185 pounds. And we're going to tack on some yardage to the end of the play. It was about a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to tack on an additional 10 yards, and that'll take it. Wait a second. They're going to tack on, they're going to call this a personal foul, I believe, and they're going to tack on, yeah, personal foul on the face mask, and they're going to tack on an additional, is that 15
Yeah, I
yards?
think that was a 15-yarder they added on to the end of that one.
Yeah,
Is what I think it was. I mean, you know what? It was a pretty blatant face mask
yeah.
that you saw. Now, I don't think it was on purpose, but I mean, he got all mask on his grab, so it doesn't matter if it was intentional or not. When you get that full face mask and you pull down, you're going to get called for the personal foul every time.
So he gets the 15-yard variety. They're now at the 16-yard line of the Madison Wolves. Empty backfield as a player goes in motion. That's number 40, Eli. And this one is tossed over there. They're going to try to get into the end zone, but they're not going to have anybody there. Ritter was the closest to the ball as it goes sailing into the end zone, incomplete on first down. Nice pass attempt there by Noel Rivera, but it's going to be for naught. And they'll go to down a second down as they get into the huddle. What do they need to do right here, Labasco, to put this ball in the end zone?
Well, I think they got to continue with what's been working, and that's been their running game. Really, I think you got to start running it here towards the end zone. I mean, the passing game, Rivera's that was a perfect spot where he wanted to throw it. Unfortunately, Ritter not fast enough to get to the intended spot is the whole thing. So just adjust a little bit more on the passing game, but also for the running game, use it a little bit. Especially, I mean, this is a time when you think Hampton might get some use, especially because you're not in that red zone goal line stance.
Bunch formation, and they're going to get the defender to jump off sides right there. Very nice play, Noel Rivera, who a hard count pulls off the defender. This guy is Brian Adams, who has been in the backfield most of the time. Um, this time he is going to be called for the neutral zone infraction, and they'll move that up an additional 5 yards. Yep. So they will call that offsides on Brian Adams as he comes unabated, and they'll move it 5 yards. Still first down. Um, excuse me, check that second down. So now we got a second down and 5 from the 9-yard line. Single running back in the backfield with Nora Rivera. That's Josh Hampton. And a fake handoff. Rivera scrambling around in the backfield. He eludes one defender in the back, a couple of there. It looks like a block potentially in the back, but it doesn't as he gets into the end zone. He's going to score that. The first touchdown of the game, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It's the Chicago Vipers now pick up a 6-0 lead in the game, and they'll try to kick the extra point. Very nice here with 25 minutes gone in the first half. The Vipers will score the first points of the ball game. A nice little sweep and run by Rivera, who uses his legs to get this one done. And that's what we kind of needed to get done. As I asked you, what would they need to do to get this ball in the end zone? And Rivera kindly answers with his feet.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like that was a broken play with Rivera because I think he wanted to hand that ball off because he turned his back. And when you're running the ball, you don't normally turn your back to the line before you start going. He had turned his back completely. So I think that somebody on on the two guys coming on either side, one of them was supposed to take the ball and one of them didn't. Either way, Rivera making something out of nothing, and that's one thing that he's done a couple of times on broken plays before.
And the extra point of kick is no good. That attempt is no good. That's going to go wide right. And so we'll stay at 6-0. The Vipers do strike first, though, here on Sportstown Chicago. And we'll take it down to the other end and get started for, excuse me, we'll take it right back here at
Yeah,
the 20-yard line. Oh, excuse me, the 30-yard line. Sometimes the 30, 35, where we'll start at the 30-yard line. We're getting the rules in order as quickly as we possibly can here. We'll start from the 30-yard line. The Wolves will take over from there. The Vipers now on top 6-0, courtesy of a scamper run broken play by Noel Rivera.
and they don't take a whole lot of time with that running clock. I mean, we're already under the 18-minute mark, just ticked underneath.
No messing around.
No messing around at all. And again, once we get to the 3-minute mark, that's when NFL rules will take effect for the last 3 minutes, sort of like a 2 minute warning almost.
Exactly. A bunch formation for the Wolves, and they're going to get a handoff. This is number 12 on the run, a scamper in there, and he's going to be brought down by number 14 for the Vipers. That's Miguel Tanuz. We've already called his name a couple of times, the defensive end. On that scamper check, that wasn't 12, was number 13 for the Madison Wolves. That's Tom Sweet. So Sweet picks up roughly seven. We'll call it 7 yards on the inside drop. It's basically an inside run play, and we'll go to 2nd and 3.
I think it
It
was,
was 12.
yeah, it was
Yeah. Let me
Stevenson.
double check myself. It's Mike Stevenson's first time we called his number today. Running back, cornerback, 5'6", 188 pounds. I formation under center this time, and this one's going to be another handoff. This time it's picked up quickly in the backfield. Very nice play. To News again, number 4. Excuse me, check that one. This time it's going to be number 44. That was Greg Silsby, the D tackle. He's in the backfield. We've called his number a couple of times. He makes a very nice play. A loss of half yard on there, but he just explodes through the backfield. Very nice play to keep him right at bay. So we're still going to stay right now down at third and about 4 yards now on the 1 yard loss on the play.
And he had just gotten off his block in time to get that. Otherwise, it looked like there was going to be some running room for Stevenson.
Boy, he read that play, and Stevenson looks like he's got some good legs, and he's fresh too. We're going to the I formation again. Stevenson at the back. Looks like it's going to be a pass play. They got a receiver downfield, and it's a nice, very nice catch there, and he's picked up at the 50-yard line as he is exploded on. That's number 12, Frederick Comley, the cornerback who makes the play. But on the catch, is that 12 or 13 who makes the catch? That's Mike Stevenson again, or was that Tom Sweet?
I think that might have been Sweet on the catch. Stevenson just right there at the time because he was the one who got that fake handoff as rolling out was the quarterback. Pretty good play though, and it gave them that first down too. They haven't had a first down in a while, so there's a boost for this team for their offense. Is they were having some struggles there against this really good Vipers defense.
It was well designed, very reminiscent of a bootleg, and they kind of got
Yeah,
somebody out there. Looks like a breakdown in an assignments for the cornerback, and he was kind of wide open, but he gets obliterated at midfield. But nonetheless, he picks up the first down, and that's exactly where they'll start from the 50-yard line. Single back formation. We got a couple of slotted receivers moving. Now we got one in motion. That's Sweet. He fakes the end around, and then the receiver on the draw. And now you have a toss back, and you have the Vipers reading every bit of that, and they're going to catch that in the backfield for a 6-yard loss. Very nice. First to get there, of course, that guy we've mentioned a couple of times, Greg Silsby. He is also helped out there on the play by number 14, Miguel Tanuz, and that's going to be a 6-yard loss. We'll play it down on second down now, second down and 16, as the Wolves will try to get this thing back going in the right direction. 14 minutes left, 14:44 exactly left here in this first half of play. A lot of activity, a lot of action. They're trying to really kind of mix it up. They're showing a lot of real cool design plays.
yeah.
I like what I'm seeing out there from both sides of the field. A couple of breakdowns and coverages that you don't really like to see that much. Bunched up formation in the backfield as Pitts takes the snap and a handoff, and Sweet on the end around, excuse me, kind of just a misdirection handoff, and he'll be upended at the 48-yard line directly here in front of us. So that looks like a pickup of about 6, and they'll get that right back from where they started from. Um, and check that. We're going to make that a pickup of 8, and that'll put them back at the 40. Excuse me. We were at the 46, weren't we, or were we at the 30? Yeah, that play started at the 39-yard line.
Yeah,
I apologize. Double check that with 39-yard line. So we're going to call that an 8-yard scamper as we get down to, or 9-yard scamper as we get to the 48-yard line. We're still at third down from the original line of scrimmage was at the 50-yard line. Empty backfield. Quarterback did not look like he was set, but they call nothing and a pass, and this one's going to be intercepted. That's number 23 for the Vipers, and he is still not taken down, but now he finally is taken down, and there's going to be a flag at the end of the play. Very nice play by Albert Green, the cornerback. He read the coverage, stepped in front of the offensive receiver, makes the interception, gets it all the way back down to the 41-yard line, Wolves territory, and an additional flag is going to be brought in at the end of there, and we're going to get the call here in just a second.
and well, it looks like they're going back the other way with it. So we haven't had an official ruling of what the call is, but the offense was coming out in the field, but now they're back onto the sideline, and the defense is still out there. It looks like, or no, Rivera is out there. So it was something on the
We
Vipers
have an
after the
illegal
fact.
block in the back, what
Ah,
it
okay.
looks like. So the turnover will stand. Interception, Mr. Green, thank you very much for the Vipers. Albert, the cornerback. Albert Green, his first interception, obviously, the night. First turnover of that variety of the night, an interception for the Vipers. But we will keep the control of the ball. It'll start now from the 46 of the Vipers as opposed to being at the 39 of the Wolves. And we'll go into a formation. Rivera, he's got a single back formation with him. He's got in there Josh Hampton, the running back, who is very colorfully coated in all of his stuff. And very nice play as Rivera tries to get a pass off, and it's blocked, defended by the very tall and lengthy DN on this play. This looks like number 46 for the Wolves. That is Adam Wedged. He's a 6'4 receiver DN, and he just gets around one of the offensive linemen, and that's the big boy James Fontaine. Gets his big mitt up in the air as Rivera tries to get a release, and he blocks that one down, and they're going to go to second down right there from the same spot, the 46-yard line.
One of the smaller ends we've seen, at least weight wise, only 200 pounds.
He's one of the taller people out there. He's 6'4",
Yeah.
and it actually looks like he may actually be a little bit taller than that, but we'll call it 6'4" for right now. Rivera back on the set, single back formation. It's Hampton in the backfield again. Rivera takes the snap. He tries and looks for number 40 coming across the middle, but now he's going to try to get downfield and get there. And he picks up 40 right across the 40-yard line into Wolves territory, and they'll call it a markdown at the 39. Very nice play, pickup of about 10, and that's Eli Williams, the running back wide receiver, who makes a very nice play. He wanted him coming across initially. He bought himself some time as he gets out into the flat. He sees Eli coming across, gets him just as he gets to the sideline marker. Very nice pass and a pickup, and now they're down to the 39-yard line.
And that was a very small window he had to throw through there to get that ball. That was one of the hardest thrown balls we've seen.
Yes, it was, Mr. Labasco. Very astute by you. And now in Wolves territory, the Vipers come into a single back set right here to his right side. That's Eli Williams, who will Eli will line up with Rivera. And it's going to be a fake pet in the handoff, and Williams will go up the middle. He sidesteps a defender as a broken tackle, and then he's brought down just before he hits the 30-yard line. Looks like the 31. It looks like we're going to get a pickup of about 9 and some change, and that'll bring up a second down and roughly about 1 or 2.
And you saw a little bit of a disappointment on Eli Williams' face there as he knows that if he could have just kept his footing, he was probably getting in the end zone.
Absolutely, he had one more defender to beat. He had already broken the ankles of one tackler, and this a very nice little play made by the Madison defender. I believe that was number 24, Art Butler, the cornerback, 5'11". He steps up and makes the tackle. Receivers on two his receivers on one side. Now we're going to a man in motion. That's number 10 on the end around. He picks up that ball. He eludes one defender. It's a spin move into a lot of traffic, and he's going to pick up the first down and a little bit more. Very nice job done there. Um, that is a nice pickup for number 10, Anthony T.J. Storino, who had the bobbles earlier in the game, but a very nice play he made with his legs. He sidestepped a defender, then he had a spin move to pick up some additional yards, picks up the first down, and the Vipers are in business again, Chris Labasco.
Yeah, their offense is really moving the ball well. I think running to the side of the man we were talking about a little bit earlier in the 6'4" defensive end. I mean, running to his side has really been huge for the Vipers.
Two running back set. Now checking into the game, that's Jamie Wyatt, the running back, 6'1", 220, alongside uh, Josh Hampton. And Rivera picks it up, and that aforementioned guy who just walked into the game, he gets a handoff, and he's going to take it rumble and bumble down to the 20-yard line. That was number 32, Jamie Wyatt, brought in specifically to go ahead and pound and ground, and they're going to call that, they're going to actually mark that the 21-yard line, a pickup of about 7. Very nice little inside draw play that they dialed up right there.
I mean, I think you got to try on the run, especially on the run. I mean, Wedig, he's a pretty quick guy, but on the physical, on the just straightforward run block, he's having a lot of issues. So running to his side, I think, is part of the reason why they get success when they go to the left.
They're going back to that double running back formation. That's Wyatt and Hampton. Rivera, leg pickup. The defender fakes as though he's going to blitz out there. They're going to stay put. Rivera will pick it up. It's got a lot of room in there, and then he's moved back by the defender and almost he picks he has a receiver wide open as he sidesteps one more defender and into the end zone, scored the touchdown. The Vipers now have scored for the second time in this ball game. Now it's 13, excuse me, check that, 12 nothing. Vipers now another score. That was number 72, James Flynn on the reception from Rivera, the tight end, and that's a 21-yard reception. And about 2 yards after the catch, it came down to about the 2-yard line, and about 2 yards of yak after that for the touchdown in the end zone. Rivera now has a touchdown pass to go along with a run. 12 nothing. Go the Chicago Vipers here at Serpico Field in Melrose Park. The Vipers and the Wolves getting it on here under Friday Night Lights here on SportsTownChicago.com. And the extra point attempt, it is on the way. Once again, it is wide right. That kicking attempt made by Kyle Ritter, who is your fullback wide receiver, who also doubles as the kicker. Not very successful in either one of his extra point
Well,
attempts. Nonetheless, they still hold a 12-0 lead.
he's not the normal kicker though, because the normal one is Zach Criswell, and I don't believe I see him here today. Yeah, he's not here today, so that's part of the reason why the extra points they're having difficulty here with, because Criswell's a darn good kicker. I mean, he's got a lot of leg on him, and extra points are nothing for him. But either way, going back to that, I mean, it was a great play to Flynn, and I mean, he just ran guys over to get in. He's a big tight end to have going, but also a little bit of fortune too for the Vipers, as there was a block in the backfield by the running back on the man we were talking about a little bit earlier, Adam Wedding. He's pretty good on the pass rush, but on a run in running situations, he gets taken out of plays.
Now, back on the offense are the Wolves. You have Pitts who steps up and he has a lofting pass that's picked up by the wide receiver. That's my guy here, number 13, Tom Sweet. Reception from the 35, and he'll pick up roughly about nine. Hold on, I'm sorry. We started at the 30-yard line again, so it looks like about a 13-yard pickup to the 43. That look about right, Chris
Yeah,
Labasco,
that
from
looks
where?
about to be the 43. We're a little bit offset from there, so it's kind of difficult to tell. They don't place the ball on the hashes,
Yeah,
place the ball more towards the middle of the field.
yeah. I'm going to call it the 43. That's where they start? So
Yeah.
they'll start from first down. 13-yard pickup on the pass by Sweet. Nice pass by Pitts. It was a little bit lofty, but he made the catch and gets away from one of the defenders. Now Pitts, he tries to elude one defender, and he does. Man, he's got a lot of traffic that he gets out, and he's got a lot of open field to run with, and he gets into Viper territory as he crosses midfield, brought down on the sideline. He stays on his feet as he crosses into Viper territory to the 47, and that'll be another first down. He's doing it with his legs. A lot of fantastic improvisation
Yeah.
for both sides. I like what Noel has done. I like what the Pitts kid has done here for the Wolves. And now they are in the territory for the Vipers. And with 4:20 left in this half, a minute 20 before we go to NFL rules, the Wolves will try to put this ball in the end zone. Hopefully, the Criswell absence won't come back to haunt
Right.
the Vipers, because they've now missed two extra points and it's only 12 nothing right now, and the Wolves threatening. Snap under there to Pitts, and he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And that looks like big double zero on the takedown. Is that Drew Jones?
You know what? The funny thing is they didn't blow the whistle until he was tapped down afterward. So I think they were saying he was never touched until there. When he was slamming the ball on the ground, Pitts could have gotten up and ran with that because the whistle didn't blow till somebody came and touched him.
So the sack is actually going to be credited to Greg Silsby, the D tackle, as he comes off the sidelines into a substitution. Since they won't give it to Drew Jones, they did not say that he was down. Very astute observation by, of course, one of the best in the business. This is Chris Labasco. I'm Marco Godfrey here on the broadcast for SportsTownChicago.com.
You give me too much credit, though.
Well, I have no choice. You're going to slip me money at the end of this, so I have to do something in this deal. Snap out. Pitts on the back. He's got one defender to try to get around. He's out there. Oh, and this ball just slips out of his hands. He was being taunted, and he's being run down by number 14, Miguel Tanuz, the defensive end. That's a lot of weight coming barreling down on you. The 6'1", 245-pound monster with a nice uh, shield on his um,
Helmet.
helmet, so you can't see his eyes, because if you would, you'd probably be even more afraid of him. But he tries to get away from him. The ball slips out of his hand, and they're going to go to third down here for the Wolves of Madison. A once promising drive into Viper territory has kind of stalled here for the last two plays, and we're going to go to third down here directly at midfield.
You know what? I was surprised on that big gain by Pitts that he didn't get destroyed from behind. He luckily felt the pressure just in time because it looked like he was going to get lit up from his backside on the first play that they had.
From the shotgun, we're going to go to a four receiver set, and he gets through, and there's a wow, just an entire grouping of defenders in the backfield, and they're going to get him down, a sack for a loss, all the way back to the 39-yard line. That's 00. There's number 3, there's 32, just a gang of Vipers in there as they come in unabated, just on a jailhouse blitz, and it's going to put fourth down, and the ball will be placed on the 30-yard line for the Vipers, and that's where they'll take it back over. 2:22. Now we're in NFL rules, so the clock will stop. This is the first time we've had a chance to see the clock stop in continuous play as we go to NFL rules right now, getting under 3 minutes. 2:22 in the game. 12-0. The Vipers of Chicago are holding the advantage here in Serpico Field over the Madison Wolves. Marco Godfrey alongside Chris Labasco on the call here at a fine evening here in Melrose Park for a football game in
Definitely.
uh, the very beginning of the summer. I'll take it for sure.
I'll take the weather the way it is today too. It's a little bit warmer than we had the past couple nights. Much warmer than we were at Bennett, that's for sure.
So the Vipers back now on offense. Empty backfield for Rivera as he comes, throws a couple of calls, and he takes the snap. And he has one defender that he eludes, and he has one more to beat. Open field. Oh, and this ball has just gets out of his hands as he is crushed from the backside. That's that Wetted kid that you were talking about, who isn't very good on the run. However, when he gets out there in space and he can try to get someone from behind, or he can try to, catch someone, or if he can get his mid up or something of that nature, he's pretty good out there in that respect. And this time he was the one who rushes this pass by Rivera for an incompletion.
Yeah.
So we'll start back over from the 31-yard line.
Wettig is a finesse rusher. He's not going to bull rush you off the line. He's going to try and go around you either with a spin or a swim and just get around you. He's not going to run right through you. We can't do that.
Empty back formation again, and Rivera. He has Sweet, who comes across, who drops the ball. Actually, double check that. That's Sortino, the Butterfinger Man of the Year. He drops the ball again with no one in front of him, but a little bit of daylight, and the drive is now stalled again. I don't know much to say about
I,
what the hands of Sortino right now.
Storino, I mean, you can say that one was a little bit behind him because it was kind of over his back shoulder,
It did touch his
but
hands,
but
right?
it touches his
Okay.
hands. He
All
should
right.
catch it.
All right.
I'm not giving him too much
Okay.
to help, but I'm just saying it's not like it was a perfectly thrown ball, but it was still a very catchable ball that he needs to catch.
Well, he hasn't earned the benefit of the doubt,
No,
so
no, he has not.
after dropping what would have been one sure touchdown for sure at the opening drive of the game, and one that would have put them in the exact same location on the very next play, he hasn't earned a lot of credit from me just now. Empty backfield, big cadence call, and he's going to get the Wolves to jump offside
Yeah,
again.
yeah. This hard count has been really well. Let's see, which way are they going
Yeah, they're
with it
going there.
too?
It's offsides. It's
Okay, I was
definitely
making
offsides.
sure. I was gonna
Yeah.
say because I saw somebody on the line move, but it wasn't until somebody on the defensive line had moved. But either way, that really has been catching this defensive line, the hard count. So definitely something you got to utilize as you go throughout this game. But yeah, definitely. I mean, drop pass is really hurting this team at times, but they've also had some very nice catches as well. So it's just been who the target has been.
Third down, they move it up another 5 yards. So we're looking at about third down and 4. Rivera, empty backfield. He has a sideline route. Oh, very nicely done. This is a nice play as he catches a sideline route all the way down to the 37-yard line in Wolf territory. This is right in front of us. This pass play is a really very nice depiction of what Rivera is all about. He had time to throw the ball. He has a receiver who gets out there, and that's Eli Williams all by himself. As he comes over to the corner route, he makes a very nice play, keeps his feet in bounds, very NFL-like in the sense that these guys ran that to perfection.
They did, and Rivera perfectly placed ball along the sideline for Rivera, and it stops the clock as well as we are under that 3 minute mark.
Yeah, we are exactly at 2:01 at the moment. Now threatening again from the 37-yard line of the Wolves. Empty backfield, so it's been pass, pass, pass here for all of this drive. Rivera takes it. They're keeping this on, and it looks like it's going to be a hold
Oh,
on one of the defenders. But I don't think that Sortino. I don't think that uh, Storino. I don't think that Storino read the play well. I'm not sure
no,
if
he
he even
didn't.
knew that that ball was coming
No,
to
he
him.
didn't. That Storino's going to be happy that he got a flag there for his team because that was I don't know if it was a misrun route or if it was miscommunication with Revere of what he wanted him to do. Either way, it benefits your team regardless because of the call, but that was one that really your team probably shouldn't have had.
And this is on the even though that's on Stortino for excuse me Storino for not being in the place that he was, put the actual accolade on Rivera for making and having the presence of
Right?
mind to just put it in the area where he would have been because he sees that the defender is wrapped all over him like a drape,
Yes.
and that induces the flag call. And now they get moved into first down position and go continue to move up the field. That's another 5 yarder. So they'll start now from the 32, and we're going to have
They're gonna huddle up. It looked like they were. I don't know.
referees. Yeah,
I don't know if maybe somebody had called a timeout. I didn't see a signal either way, which is possible. But I mean, this is fine though too for the Vipers. Go ahead, huddle up. Make sure you don't have people on not on the same page there as you just did.
yeah,
So because they looked like they were going to go with what they had just done once again after the call. But
right. Well, the referees are now giving an explanation to the Wolves coach over there. I think everything has been all settled out. I think they've negotiated what they're going to do, and I think he's satisfied with where they are right now with the call. It's going to be a 32-yard line. It's going to be a first down for the Vipers in Wolves territory. For this entire drive, it's been an empty backfield set from the shotgun for Rivera. Nothing has changed here on this particular design, and he's going to start from the same spot. A couple of penalties on the Wolves in this drive has kept the ball continuing to move in their direction. And Rivera, a lot of movement from him, but they're not going to call anything. And he's going right up the middle. He goes up the gut, and he's picked up by a couple of people. And he puts the punishment on one of the defenders himself as he lowers his shoulder as he gets all the way down to what looks like the 20-yard line, a 12-yard scamper right up the gut of the Wolves defense. Very nice run for Rivera. Rivera's doing it everywhere on this play. Excuse me, on this drive. He's had a very nice pass to the sidelines, getting into Wolves territory of 20-plus yards. He's been moving the ball with his feet. Cadence calls, keeping them off balance. He has been the man on this particular drive, Chris.
yeah, he really has been, and obviously a designed run that they had right there. They know that they've been so heavy with the pass, and when you've got Rivera who can run, he picked up a good chunk of yardage, and it also eats up some time. So that way you don't want to give the ball back at all to the Wolves either, even just with a little bit of time.
Yeah, good call. Empty back formation again. Rivera picks it up. It looks like he fakes a run up the middle. He's going to go out to the right side. He's picked up by just a gang of wolf defenders, and one of them is more happy than a little bit. Looks like that Weddick who shows off the Superman pose as he makes the tackle out there for a loss in the backfield.
Yeah, I think that might have been him, and that one I'm surprised he just didn't throw away. He was well outside the tackle box. He could have thrown it out. I mean, he had the entire sideline to just throw it away to not lose the yardage that you just gained with your feet. Now you're back to pretty much where you were before.
Yeah, a lot of the same names that we continue to call. That's Weddick in the backfield and Brian Adams collaborating on the tackle for a loss in the backfield. So the Vipers will have to restart it again. The loss takes them all the way back to the 24-yard line. We got exactly 50.6 seconds left in this first half, which has been dominated by the Vipers. 12-0 here from Serpico Field here in Melrose Park. It's the Wolves of Madison and the Chicago Vipers. Um,
You had to eat a timeout there too. Was the whole thing. That was one of the things is that you had that last run play because you were trying to keep your timeouts and run off a little bit of clock while continuing to move the ball, but now you just did the exact opposite of what you were trying to do. So I mean, you still have time to get into the end zone. 50 seconds with two timeouts, it's a lot of time.
Absolutely. And inside of the huddle right now, for the Vipers is the backup quarterback. Also, he is the
He's also part of the. He was one of the owners, and also he was the starting quarterback last year actually. And Revere they took from, I believe it was the Chaos was the team that he came from, that he had gotten injured, and he came over to the Vipers this year.
and that was Jay Fortuna, who gets into the huddle, calls a very nice play for them. So now they have something that's designed here coming out of timeout. Empty backfield. That's Rivera looking for a receiver on the sidelines. He's got one, and it's number 11, Hampton, who sidesteps a bunch of guys across the field. He's got daylight, and he's got end zone. He is there. Touchdown as he gets manhandled as he falls into the end zone. Another touchdown. Rivera looks like just a broken play, tries to look around. He finds a wide receiver on the side. It's Hampton. Hampton just does the rest of the work himself. The yards after the catch are what's now killing the Wolves here. Very nice play for Hampton as he scampers 24 yards to pay dirt in the end zone and touchdown. Now the extra point on the way. Wolves now 18 nothing.
Well, that was just his man out of the backfield in Hampton. That's his safety valve. That's why he went there, and Hampton's like, all right, I'll turn this into a touchdown. Again, just give him some open field, and he's gonna go.
And
He's gonna
now
make.
Jay Fortuna, who comes into the game, we just mentioned he is your everything man. He comes in and kicks in the extra point, the first one of this half to go along with the three touchdowns that they have. The Vipers now will take a 19-point lead, 36.1. Thank you for introducing yourselves into the huddle. Thank you for introducing yourself into the game, Jay Fortuna. The extra point, good. 19 nothing Vipers.
That's awesome. I mean, he's just gonna do everything he needs to for this team, and you have to like that attitude that he has. That whatever his team needs, he's going to do it.
That's tremendous.
I mean, he's calling the plays for the offense. He runs. He's the guy that gets this all set up too. So this wouldn't be happening if it weren't for him. So a lot of credit has to go to him.
Yeah, thank you so much. On the broadcast here, this is Chris Labosco. I am Marco Godfrey at Serpico Field. The Chicago Viper and the Madison Wolves. Wolves on the offensive attack right now. News, the defender, he comes across. He's going to sidestep a couple of other defenders as he gets out in space and gets across up to the 39. They may call. Yeah, they're going to stop it right there, 39-yard line. Time will stop at 22-3. The Wolves need to use as many of these little seconds that they do have left in this half. 19 nothing. The Vipers have dominated this entire first half of football, and the Wolves just trying to find something positive, maybe
Yeah,
just to take into the locker room as they finish off this half. But you can't get complacent as defensive members of the Wolves, excuse me, Vipers team, because this team can strike, and if you fall asleep, it'd be the worst thing in the world giving up a touchdown before the half ends with just 22 seconds left.
I mean, and we've seen when there's time to throw, they have opportunities downfield to exploit. It's just the defensive line right now for the Vipers isn't giving them any time. I mean, you have to be happy with that, of course. But if they get a little bit of time, they can gash you. They can hurt you.
Back to live action again coming out of the huddle. So it's Pitts in a running back less backfield. He takes the snap. He's got one defender who wraps around him, and he won't get away from the other two. That's 14 who comes back in the play, but making the actual tackle is number 26 for the Vipers. That is the first time we've had a chance to call him. That's Sean Dawson. He's your linebacker slash running back, and he makes a play. They're going to say that is for a small gain of maybe about a half yard. So he doesn't get him in behind the line of scrimmage, but he will prevent him from moving any further down the field. Very nice play by Mr. Dawson.
Well, it looks like Jay's strapping it up, and he's going to be playing some defense here as
Holy
well.
moly, what else can he do today?
Well, he was a wide receiver the first week, just to point out as well. So he's played wide receiver. Now I think he's going to be a defensive back here. He's kicked an extra point. He's played all phases of the game.
And in the booth, we have one of his better fans. and favorite fans right alongside us here. She is working and operating the scoreboard, the clock, and doing a fantastic job on the audio and I guess you could say also as the visual as well. So we
He's coming off
appreciate
the
her for being there. But just as we mentioned, Fortuna going into the game, he comes off. They're going to go into a prevent defense, three linemen, and they're going to move the backers all the way back, and the secondary is going to be way deep. This will probably be the last play of this half. 7 seconds left. 19 nothing. Have the Vipers, and there's a quick pass off to the sidelines, and that's going to be for roughly about 9 yards. And they're going to have one more attempt at it. 1.4 left. That is to Sweet. Sweet has a catch there on the sideline, and they're going to play it for one more. The Vipers will stay in prevent defense here for the final play of this half.
That's smart though, because instead of making it a 60, or instead of a 70-yard throw, it's a 60-yard throw. So you get 10 yards less that your quarterback has to try and heave that ball to get it into the end zone. This is still going to be a heck of a throw to get it down there. However, still, I mean, you do have the win. It's kind of blowing. It's not really blowing in favor of the Wolves though here, so that's not going to help them out any.
Well, Pitts is 6'1", 175 pounds, the quarterback of the Madison Wolves. Does he have enough arm to get that down there? I haven't seen that just yet.
Does he have enough time? Because even with three guys, this line has not been giving him a lot of time.
He takes the snap. He's got a little bit of time. He comes in between there, and this play is going to end right now for the first half, and a little bit of extracurricular at the end. It's going to be a sack, and it's going to be number 14, that guy we mentioned a few times, Miguel Tanus, the defensive end, and that's how this half is going to end on a sack. Really great performance for the Chicago Vipers. 19 nothing as they go into the half with the lead. The Wolves have their work cut out for them.